Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, a timeless play by William Shakespeare, was written around 1594 to 96 and first published in an unauthorized quarto in 1597. A more reliable and extended authorized quarto came out in 1599. This version was used for the editors of the first folio in 1623. The characters of Romeo and Juliet have become iconic, inspiring literature, music, dance, and theatre. Their tragic love story has made them the epitome of star-crossed lovers in popular imagination. The play centers around an ancient feud between the powerful Montague and Capulet families, leading to violence. Romeo, a lovesick Montague, falls for Juliet, a Capulet, who is betrothed to County Paris. Despite the enmity between their families, they marry secretly with the help of Juliet's nurse. Tragedy strikes when Romeo kills Juliet's cousin Tybalt and is banished. In a desperate bid to be with Romeo, Juliet fakes her death following Friar Lawrence's plan. Unfortunately, the message never reaches Romeo and he believes Juliet is truly dead. He takes his life in her tomb. Upon awakening, Juliet finds Romeo dead and in despair takes her life as well. Their tragic deaths prompt their families to end their bitter feud. Major characters: Romeo Montague, son of wealthy merchant Montague, falls for Juliet from rival Capulet family. Friar Lawrence, a monk who secretly marries Romeo and Juliet. Mercutio, Romeo's friend, accidentally killed by Tybalt. Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, killed by Romeo, leading to his banishment. Paris, Juliet's intended husband, killed by Romeo. Benvolio, Romeo's cousin and close friend. Lady Capulet, Juliet's mother. Nurse, member of the Capulet household, cares for Juliet. Balthazar, Samson, Gregory, Peter, servants of the Montague and Capulet families. Friar John, Friar Lawrence's associate, fails to deliver a crucial message. Juliet Capulet, only daughter of the Capulet patriarch, falls in love with Romeo, sparking the tragedy. Aeschylus, the Prince of Verona, threatens death for those who disturb the peace. Summary of the play. Act 1. The play introduces the feuding Capulet and Montague families in Verona. The young men clash until the prince intervenes. The Capulets plan a feast to introduce Juliet to Paris for marriage. Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio decide to attend in disguise, with Romeo hoping to see his love Rosalind. Instead, he meets Juliet and instantly falls for her. Their encounter is cut short by Tybalt. Act 2. Romeo and Juliet declare their love and plan to marry secretly with the help of the nurse and Friar Lawrence. They tie the knot at the friar's cell. Act 3. Tybalt challenges Romeo, leading to Mercutio's death. Romeo kills Tybalt and is banished. Juliet is upset but agrees to marry Paris. With the friar's help, she takes a sleeping potion to feign death and avoid marrying Paris. In Act 4, everyone thinks Juliet is dead on her wedding day. The friar sends a message to Romeo, but it does not reach him in time. Romeo buys poison and returns to Verona. Act 5. Romeo finds Paris mourning at Juliet's tomb and kills him. He takes poison and dies next to Juliet. She wakes up, finds Romeo dead, and stabs herself. The tragedy leads to the family's reconciliation. Themes of the play. Romeo and Juliet delves deeply into the complexities of love, unrivaled in Shakespeare's works. The play also examines the consequences of senseless feuding and societal divisions. Light and dark. Imagery of light and darkness adds depth to the text, with dazzling and shadowy elements woven throughout. From flashing eyes to moonlit scenes, these contrasting images enrich the play's atmosphere. Fate and free will. The prologue dubs the protagonists as star-crossed lovers, hinting at the influence of fate on human lives. The theme of fate versus free will pervades the story as Romeo and Juliet struggle against predetermined destinies expressed through their dreams and premonitions. Love and hate. The profound love shared by Romeo and Juliet is set against the backdrop of a hate fueled society. The intensity of their love contrasts sharply with the destructive animosity stemming from the ancient feud, leading to tragic consequences for not only them but others as well. Death and hate. Death looms over Verona, an ever present spectre that affects young and old alike. The word death echoes throughout the text, and the personification of death becomes chillingly real. Tragedy strikes suddenly and relentlessly, intertwining with the lovers' hopes for a life together. In Romeo and Juliet, love's profound exploration, the impact of fate and free will, the conflict between love and hate, and the omnipresence of death converge to create a timeless tale of heartbreak and reconciliation.